All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on how the oppressor is going to become the oppressed, and how the oppressed is going to become the oppressor, right? And how all of these nations had a real enjoyment out of the low position that we was in, man, because they thought in their mind that we were just always going to stay like how we was, and they didn't consider that it was a thing by, well, we're in this situation because we're cursed now. The elite level of all these other nations, they understand this, man. And even when you go to the book of Judith, in particular the nation of Moab, I believe it's the nation of Moab, they had an understanding that when the Israelites are sinning, then they can be taken down, but when they're not sinning, they can't be taken down. So if Moab has an understanding of that, then Esau, who is our main enemy on this earth, and in particular the tribe of Amalek, they definitely will be against us in that regard, man. And they'll know all the information on what can help us form, and they'll know all of our things that can be used to make us form, man. But all of this happened for a reason. But they've had an enjoyment out of it because they thought in their mind, and they started to get deceived that we were just always going to be like that, man. They got too proud. They thought they'd destroyed us just enough, but now they're starting to realize, now that Valley of Dry Bones is turning into a nation again, they're starting to realize that actually it's not going like that, man. And that's why Revelation 12:12 says, "Rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that you have but a short time." Now they're starting to realize that, man, it doesn't seem like these people are going to come out of the situation that they're in, and they're not going to stop believing this. And even some of the people that are of their nation that I thought I had as my personal slaves, and I thought I had them under my thumb, even them are starting to get more rebellious, and they're starting to use some of the same talking points as what these people use, as what these people that are speaking about Yahweh are starting to use. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have driven thee." Let me read that again. "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations with Yahweh thy power have driven thee," meaning that the blessing had to happen and the curse had to happen. And since we've been alive, right, anyone that's been alive within the last 100 years, we ain't really seen that blessing part, man. That blessing part is really going to back what was happening in the scriptures during the time of King Solomon. No other time really have we seen the true blessing part of the Israelites, man. We ain't really experienced that blessed kingdom in our lifetimes, man. That time frame was short, man, and it's been waiting to happen again. The tabernacle of David, the kingdom of David is getting ready to be raised up again, greater than it was before, because that time didn't get to really experience much time during the time of Solomon, man. That wasn't really that long of a reign, to be honest with you. And every king that came after Solomon's reign, it continually got worse and worse from the sins that Solomon had did, until the kingdom got broken in two. Then it got broken in general, to where there's no remnant left of it for anyone to see, man. Verse 2, "And shalt return unto Yahweh thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I commanded this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul." And let me say something about the children part, man. Right now on this earth, man, there's starting to be Israelites that are born not believing in none of that Christmas stuff, man. Right? And before they eat a meal, they praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They don't believe in that J character that Christianity's pushed out there. They ain't down with Christmas. They ain't down with celebrating their birthday, right? They understand all of these things that they've been told in this world are lies, man. Because the parents of those children have told them and corrected them like the scriptures say you're supposed to do, so that the children don't grow up unwise, man. And that's why you've got these people in high ups in this society saying that the main problem with the main threat to the society and all of that is a young aged African American, because we ain't gullible no more, man. And we ain't under the same witchcraft And we don't believe them when they come with that Caucasian talk, man. We know you're Edomites. We know that you eat people are wicked, man. And we know that you're full of shit. We know that what you say is one thing, but what you do is the complete opposite. And we don't believe that you're powerful because you're pale. We don't believe that you're really white like you say. We know you're red. We've got eyes, and our eyes can see exactly what color you are. We don't believe you when you can't try and tell us we're black. We don't really feel too saddened by the Atlantic slave trade, and the Atlantic slave trade, which you Edomites try and use as a thing to show that, see, you don't know about your history because of the Atlantic slave trade. Actually, because of the Atlantic slave trade, we do know our history because the Bible said that was going to happen. And we don't care if you people don't believe that Deuteronomy 28 and 68 is talking about the Atlantic slave trade, because we believe it is. And you people have not been able to explain or show what that scripture is talking about. Because anyone can say what it ain't. But it's very hard to say what it is. It takes more skill to say what is going on with a particular Bible verse. But all Christianity does, it says it's not talking about what the Israelites are talking about, and then doesn't really like to say what it is. Oh, it's been fulfilled already. Won't say when. They'll just say, oh, it's been fulfilled. When? When was it fulfilled? Since you're saying that with such confidence, when? But they don't do that, do they? Verse 3, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. So all that talk of how the Israelites have been rejected and all of this, that's not true, man. The Israelites have not been rejected. And the only reason why somebody would say that the Israelites are rejected is because they're not an Israelite. Because if all of these other people could prove or could show things to make them have a heavy belief that they are Israelites, right? And if all the ancient history shows that they was the Israelites, right? And if they had all these things that show that the people in the Bible look like them, and that there was verses in there that say that they look like them, instead of verses that say that they were black, like how it says in regards to us, right? They would do that and they would show it. If they could show that the curses of Deuteronomy the 28th chapter come upon them, they would show it, but they can't show that because they're living it up. They've got the best lives right now. So what do they really need salvation from? When their life's already good. Their lives, the best lives that you can possibly have on the earth right now. So what do they need salvation from? That then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations with Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. And that's why now I'll have to be fair, because not every single person that you see that looks like an Edomite is an Edomite, right? Not every single person that you see that looks Chinese really belongs to that nation. A lot of them are going to belong to the Israelites, but that doesn't mean that just because you look like an Edomite that you get some special privilege now because you're an Israelite that looks like an Edomite, so now nobody can't say anything to you. No, you still can get bun out like how anyone else can. Or if you look like Chinese, that don't mean, oh, I'm a Chinese Israelite, so now no one can't start bunning out Moabites in front of me and start making fun out of the things that Moabites do. Yes, we can. Because guess what? The Israelite woman is definitely, the so-called black woman is definitely an Israelite with her proud ass, with her proud self, right? And she gets bunned out a lot. She gets bun out. She's on the 12 tribe sign, and her ass be getting cursed out all the time, man. So if the Israelite woman that's on the 12 tribe sign be getting cursed out for her wickedness, then your wickedness is also, and the people that look like you's wickedness is also going to get called out, man. We ain't going to stop talking about Moabites because you look like a Moabite now. Or if you look like an Ishmaelite, but you're an Israelite really, that don't mean that Ishmaelites ain't gonna get cursed out in front of you. And that people ain't gonna start bunning out their culture. Oh, you can't say that in front of me because my mom looks like that, so what? Or you can't say that in front of me because my dad looks like that, so what? We be going in on these niggas all the time and they look like us. If we look in the mirror, they look like they could be our father or something, or look like they could be us, literally, and they get cursed out too. No one's exempt from getting cursed out, man. I'm not, you're not, no one is, man. Everyone gets told things bad about themselves, and even if they try and think they can escape, Yahweh will lead them to a video that starts cursing out something that's a problem that they have, or that's something that they need to fix up about themselves, man. Verse 5, and Yahweh thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. Now, if that's happened already, as these Christians would love to say, then how comes that's not what happened? That them people in the land of Israel right now are not doing good above what their fathers. They ain't having more of a blessed time than what we can read about in the scriptures. They're not. They're at war right now. They're at war right now, having to fight Ishmaelites. So that's not a more blessed time above their fathers, is it? And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Are they doing that? Are they loving the Lord with all their heart and with all their soul? Are they not sinning? Or are they freaking off worse than P. Diddy over in that land, man? Are they moving worse than TD Jakes up in there with them LG alphabet parades, alphabeting and rainbowing up the whole streets, man? Verse 7, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And that's the place that I was trying to lead this lesson to, man. Because all these people that thought that we was a joke, and that we were bums, and that we were black thugs, right? That we were super predators, right? That we were I don't know, man. They've always got that we were urban, you know, that we were uneducated, that we were super violent and hyper aggressive, toxic masculinity. All the people that came up with all these different cold words to call us niggers, right? All the people that came up with all these things, they thought that we was in these situations and that we could be manipulated in these ways because we were actually what they said we were, man. But the reason why they was able to get away with doing this stuff to us is because we sinned against the Lord. Therefore, the Lord cursed us, man, and made us be able to get manipulated and put in these situations. Not because we actually were what these people said we were, because we're not what they say we are, man. We're not these things. We're not dumb. They are. We're not inferior. They are. Women be paying money now to get physiques that look like that so-called African American woman, the so-called Jamaican woman, the so-called Latino woman. And really, if I had to pick out of the two, I would say, and the Native American woman too, if I had to pick out of the two, out of those three that I just mentioned, the Negro, Latino, and Native American woman, I'd say that the Edomite woman in particular mainly tries to copy the Latino woman because she can get away with that a bit easier, right? It would be difficult for the Edomite woman to copy the woman of Judah's hair if it was long. She could, like in an Afro sense anyway, she couldn't copy that. So she might be able to copy an Israelite woman that's pretty, that has weave, but she could never copy the Israelite woman that has Afro hair that's long. She can't copy that. She can't do that with her hair. She can't do it. It'll be too obvious. So she'll copy the Latino woman, man. When these bodybuilders be going to these bodybuilding shows, right? You got this new guy that's came out, Chris Bumstead, I think his name is, right? Chris Bumstead, right? And when this guy looks pale normally on his everyday to day life, but when he's in that bodybuilding competition, he's darker as us. He's as dark as the average Israelite man. And nobody can't tell me otherwise. He's dark. He becomes dark, man. And if being dark is as bad as people want to say, then surely all the dark-skinned bodybuilders would make their skin pale, more pale, to win. But that's not what happens, is it? What happened is that the more pale bodybuilders darken their skin to have a better chance of winning. That's what happens. And they be putting oil on their body and all this kind of stuff, like what the Israelite man does just on his natural day-to-day when he's coming out of his house. We put moisturizers and all these different things on our skin. That's just normal for us to do that kind of stuff. Because we don't want to have our skin to be crusty, but Edomites be going outside crusty as hell. Dandruff on the back of their shoulders, on the back of their neck. Be talking about, oh, I only bathe once a week. Well, you're a scruff then. That's because you're a tramp why you do that. Right? That's because you're nasty, man. Why you do that. That's a dog's cleaning regimen to get clean once a week. That's something a dog would go through, man. Even cats. If you ever had a pet cat will wash itself every day. How much more should a human then? You know? Now, the Bible does say that to eat with unclean hands doesn't defile a man. But, mate, there's a difference between an unclean hands and an unclean everything, mate, isn't there? You still have to be around people. You shouldn't be walking around and smelling your own arm and being able to smell your own armpits, man. That's not what it is. And the proof that that's not how it's supposed to be is that that's going to be a punishment in the day of Yahweh's wrath. People are going to be stinking, man, when they ain't got that antiperspirant. These women are going to stink, you know? It's going to get to where if these women even move, you're going to get a whiff of that dirty thing between their feet, man. And it's going to stink. You might vomit on the spot, man. They could try and walk up to you, help me, I'm hungry. Nah, get away, man, you stink, man. That's the kind of way it's going to get. Which takes me also into how these people are going to be on these curses, man. The Israelite woman's be cursed with a nasty, stinky thing. That's one of the curses she's been put under, which is in Isaiah 3. But it's going to get to where these heathen women are going to go through that, man. They're going to be cursed with that. They're going to be cursed in that kind of way, man. And more than likely, Yahweh's going to put the same curse of Isaiah 3 on the Edomite woman in the kingdom, man. Where she can't grow no hair. And the Edomite woman's going to be bald-headed, man. She's going to be bald-headed, trying to grab grass out the garden and glue that to her head to try and copy the Israelite woman's hair and all kind of madness, man. Grabbing hay from the barn to try and glue it to her head and dyeing it, putting it in tar to darken the hay and curling it to try and make it look like she's got wavy hair. All kind of madness is going to be going on for these Edomite women, man. They already try and copy Israelite women now. What's it called? What's it? Blackfishing. There's already a term out there where these Edomite women try and make themselves look like Israelite women anyway. And the Edomite man is really going to pay, man. And let me read this again. And Yahweh thy power put all these curses upon thine enemies, and them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Because the same way how we was cursed, right? That's the same way how you're going to be cursed. So all the things that you've did to us, right? We're going to do the same to you, but in our own way. We're going to do the same things to you using the right hand energy. Whereas you did all the things that you did to us using the left hand energy. So let me go into it, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave. So we're going to come up with our own righteous way of doing that to you Edomites, man. Whereas the way how you devils did it was a wicked way, but we're going to make you feel pain too, using the power of righteousness to do these things. You Edomites ain't going to be able to just eat pork. And if you do eat pork, a judgment's going to come from that, man. You might start having maggots flowing out your mouth for 2 weeks straight, man. And everyone's running away from you. Every time you open your mouth to talk, maggots fly out, man. You Edomites have not even begun to really understand the kind of things that we think in our minds when we get in the kingdom, man. You haven't perceived these things that you didn't even come up, you ain't even got an imagination as good as us, man, to think of the kind of stuff that we're going to think about. You ain't as inventive as we are, man. Our minds work way more vast than yours to think about things. And the oppressor is going to become the oppressed, man. And you don't have to be like you don't have to believe it, man. You not believing it is actually more funny because when it happens, the look of shock on your face is going to be such a beautiful image to see. Like the look of shock and despair that these black monkeys that you thought that we were are ruling over you. That's your worst nightmare. That's the things that make you have nightmares in your life. And when you're walking down the street, you try and test the waters with so-called black men. So you might You might be in the supermarket and you try to not move out the way of a so-called black man or a so-called black woman or a Latino or a Native American. Or you might try and be a Karen in a store and see if you can get away with calling a so-called black man a nigger or saying something racist to a Latino or a Mexican or something, right? And if you get away with it, then you all think in your mind, yeah, see, we still are in power. But if you get a black eye, right? If you get your eye blacked out and made red, blue, make your eye look like a raspberry ripple, then you'll be like, well, okay, that could happen. But now I'm going to use my next trick and I'm going to call the police. And then when you call the police, you're going to lie about everything that happened because that's one of your weapons, lying. You Edomites are known for that. That's your language. Your language is to lie. And then when it don't go that way for you, then you start to realize, oh shit, we ain't got as much power before we had because the police are like, well, I saw the video. You assaulted them first and they defended themselves. There's no case here. And it'll be your own people that are saying that to you. So then you'll start to realize you ain't got as much power as you thought. And that's the curses, man. When you Edomites can no longer try and look down on black people for being drug addicts because your own people are doing drugs now, stalling out on the street, sprawled out, right? Somehow doing the damn Michael Jackson lean and that, or the Neo lean from the Matrix, leaned off, just doing an isometric lunge on the damn street, leaned out on a lamppost, just keeping that isometric position for damn 3 hours while you're high. When you're seeing that now, or in the UK, you Edomites that are spiced off your head, right? When you Edomites see that kind of stuff, you don't like that. And I've seen some of you Edomites see them videos in real life. I've been in a room where you Edomites are watching that video, and I've seen the look of disgust on your face, man. You don't like seeing that. But when you Edomites see videos of that family, the Whitakers, right, from that channel, White Underbelly, Soft White Underbelly, when you see that family, the Whitakers, something in your mind triggers, man, because you think, man, damn, I thought we was just these great people. No, that's what you really are, man. The Whitaker family, barking like dogs, man. That's your real origin, yeah? That's your real... Now, Esau could talk in the scriptures, but he was just a damn demon himself anyway. Esau was talking, he would have been speaking Hebrew, you know? He came from a good line, a good family. But when he got the chance to be and was away from his family and was doing his own thing, that's when the real him came out, man. He waited for Isaac to die. When you read it in the scriptures, he waited for Isaac to die before he started being his real self, because he knew that Isaac had the power to give blessings, man. So once Isaac was dead and he was like, okay, that's the only blessing I'm gonna have now with this sword, right? Well, now I'm just gonna do what I want to do. As soon as Isaac died, he became his real self, man, the real full demon that he was, man. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their presence. Now, you have got some Edomites that go over to the land of Israel right now, and they claim that they're working for the Israelite, for them people, man. I ain't even gonna call them Israelites, right? For them J-wish people, right? And they're over there working for them, plucking grapes and raspberries, you know, picking oranges for them and that. But though that's not the fulfillment of that scripture, because those people never oppressed those people like that. That's not the fulfillment of this. But when we experience this prophecy coming to pass, it's going to be the descendants of the same people that had us in the Atlantic slave trade that are going to be picking cotton, man. They're going to be picking cotton. They ain't even going to be making our clothes, because we ain't going to want our clothes to be made by them. We're going to pick another nation, man. Esau ain't making my clothes anyway. They make our clothes now. But we have to buy them. We have to go to them for the want of all things. So they can give us trash clothes. But in the kingdom where we can have 100% everything and have it made according to the scriptures, we ain't going to have Esau making that. Esau ain't going to get the chance to say that he made a garment for one of the sons of Israel. No. That's not going to be a thing, man. It's going to be the other nations, maybe Moab, maybe Cush, maybe Ishmael, Elam or something. But it ain't going to be Esau. He ain't going to get to experience that. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So that's the curses that's going to come upon them. But right now, and in the past, for the past couple hundred years, man, for the past like 400 or 500 years, it's been real fun to see the state of our people, right? It's been real fun to just laugh at us. Ha ha ha, they're black. They're never going to know what happened. They don't know the history, you know? People have been literally, like, how evil you got to be to laugh at that, to laugh that people don't know who they are, and that the people that do know who they are refusing to tell them because then they can have an advantage over them. For every other nation just laughed at that and used it against us, and then built themselves up from our low position, and then they think they're not gonna have to pay, and then because they know that they've did all of that wickedness, now they have to keep making us stay down because they've got the fear over their head forever that if these people ever get up to a high position, they're going to want revenge. And we are going to want revenge. And we're going to get it. There ain't nothing that you can do to where you can say, oh, nah, they ain't going to. No, it don't matter whether you say, if we did that, then we'd be the same as you. So what, man? I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear, oh, if you did the same thing to them, then you become like them. Nah, we're going to be way better than you are, man. Because there's certain things that you've did that we ain't going to do. We ain't going to be doing no book breaking. Because we ain't no faggots like that, man. We ain't no F.A. agates. Because you can't even damn say words these days. And that's because of how wicked and weak you Edomites are too. You Edomites act like you're so tough. So what's with all this censoring then, man, if you're so tough? You didn't censor none of the stuff that people used to get said when it was only so-called black people that was getting spoken about all the time. There wasn't no censoring then. That you didn't care about no equality when it was mainly so-called black people being spoken bad about. But now that you're starting to get spoken bad about and people are starting to reveal your wickedness, now all of a sudden you care about people's rights to speak and that people shouldn't be able to say harsh things all of a sudden. Man, you people are weak, man. Jeremiah 49 and verse 12, for thus saith Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and art thou he that shall go altogether unpunished. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So you can say, oh man, if you stumble upon this video, you can say, man, who's this guy? I can't even see his face. He's talking all of this, but he's scared to see his face. Well, if I'm scared to show my face, check the channel and see if my face is shown in any of the videos. For all you Edomite weak devils out there that will think that, check and see if my face can be seen on there, and you will see that it is. So if that's what you devils want to try and use as a thing to say, well, nah. But then if you want to say that, well then what about the same message that's coming from what about the people that are saying exactly the same thing as what I'm saying, that you've seen their face saying the same thing? What about them? You're going to say the same thing about them? The message is the message, whether you see the person's face or not. The scriptures say that if no man spoke, roughly paraphrasing that, if no man spoke, Yahweh make the trees speak, man, and the stones, man. Would you see their face saying it? Because we know how you devils think, man. You devils will try and bait somebody into doing something just so that he can try and ruin their life. You'll try and get up in the Israelite man's face, oh, you're a coward, or you're a coward, come on and fight me like a man. Then the Israelite will hit you with one jab. You'll get knocked out by a jab. And then the next thing you know, you're smiling and you're calling the police because you Edomites ain't tough like that, man. That's why you had to give you the sword. And that's why all of your rulership has came from your power that you have to kill people with weapons. You're not really tough like that like you think. Your power mainly comes from weapons, man. Okay, some of you can take steroids and lift some heavy weights, but lifting weights is not being a warrior. That's lifting weights. That's lifting a weight and putting it back down again. But how many of you Edomite weightlifting, big weightlifting, overgrown steroid users could fight the majority of these heavyweight champions that have been Israelites and win? Most of you would get your ass kicked. And you know that. You know that to be true. Verse 13, for I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. But in that main place that's going to represent that Bozrah desolation is going to become America, man. Because that's been like the Edomite headquarters, man. Esau's been able to really show what he is to the world using America, man. He's been able to express himself with that country, America. The country of America has been a way for Esau to express himself to the world and give out what he thinks is the right way to live to the whole world, man. And that's how Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that has made all the earth drunk, man, because Yahweh ultimately was there allowing him to do that. Yahweh knows what Esau thinks in his mind. And Yahweh gave him the ability to do it. He said, okay, you think you can take me down if you do this? All right, do it then. And you're going to find out that all of that stuff still couldn't take me down. All of that stuff that you thought, okay, if I had enough time to just make this, then I'd be able to defeat you. So that Esau will do some weird spell or something out there with some weird, wicked sacrifice and try and beg for the energy to be able to do that and fulfill that thing. And they'll get it given to him. But even that still ain't going to be able to take it down, man. Isaiah 47 and verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Because all the wickedness that they've been able to get with now, they've started getting so proud that now they say that Yahweh don't even exist. But then at the same time, they know that he does. Isn't it fascinating how dumb their minds are? They go about saying Yahweh don't exist all this time, but they know he does. They know it, man. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to pull it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. And there's certain people in this world, even in the think of an earthly sense, man. There's certain people in this world, man, that they've been walking around the earth for a long time, man. A lot of us have seen it in school, right? I'm gonna give this scenario from school, man. High school, if you're in America, secondary school, if you're in the UK, right? There's always that one person in the school, man, that's just been going around talking it the most tough, man. Talking like that's the most amplified when it comes to fighting. They're just the most toughest guy out there, man. They could just punch up everyone, right? They think they're Joab in the reincarnation. They can just go around, boy up everyone, and they go around fighting people. Most of the time when you really research, if you think about this person in your life that you've seen that I'm talking about, most of the time when this person had all of these fights, you always notice that the other person was scared of them and didn't fight back. They never threw no punches, or the advantage of the one person that's the bully was so greater than the other that it wasn't even close to being a fair fight, and the person didn't have the ability to fight back. But then that same person ends up getting the surprise of their lifetime one day, man, where they try and start a fight and the other person strikes first, man. And they might break their nose, headbutt them in their nose, uppercut them in their jaw, strangle their ass out or something crazy, man. Put them in a sleeper hold, right? But they lose. That's the thing I'm saying, man. They lose. And all the moves that they normally try, all the intimidation that they normally tried, don't work no more, man. And that's what's going to happen. That earthly scenario is what's going to happen to Esau. There's going to come a time where all the tricks that Esau uses, oh, you've got a chip on your shoulder, oh, you don't need to speak so loud, oh, you're being a bit aggressive, all these catchphrases and all these lines that these Edomites have said over all these years, there's going to come a time where none of that works anymore, man. Because no one ain't going to be buying that. And every single previous spell and word on touching of the shoulder and feet positions, hand positions, buzzwords, trigger words, all of that stuff ain't gonna work no more, man. Oh, weird symbols. Oh, if I put this news story out saying this and put this particular crisis actor out there, then this is gonna be how they react. They ain't gonna react the way you want them to. There's gonna come a time where people ain't gonna be buying it no more, man, and it's not gonna work anymore. Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, because they're gonna be surprised when this is happening, because they actually think in their mind that they're good people. When you read Psalm 50 and 16 down to verse 21, it says, you thought I was altogether such a one as thyself. Meaning that Esau thinks that he understands Yahweh. He thinks that, oh, Yahweh is like how I am. So, okay, I do good. I appear to do certain good things, but I do wickedness too. And he thinks in his mind that's how Yahweh does it as well. He thinks that he's figured Yahweh out. And that how he acts on earth is how Yahweh does things, but would do things, but it's not though. Esau was made to show how not to do things. And the Israelites was made to show how Yahweh would do things. And in particular, one particular Israelite was made to show exactly how Yahweh would be, because Yahweh Shai looks like Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai said that himself. When his disciples asked him, show us the Father and we'll be content, he basically said, the Father looks like me. That's what he said. Now, the Father ain't him, but the Father looks like him. And can't a father and son look the same? Can't a father and a son look the same? So all you people acting shocked about that, they can look the same. Like, what's surprising about that? Anyway, verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. So try all that stuff you was trying last time, man. Imagine a fight, yeah? A fight between two men. And normally, whenever the guy throws the jab, it lands and he's like, man, try that same weak ass jab you tried last week, man. And he tries to jab it, bam, parried, tries to jab it again, slips it, tries to jab it again, slips, rolls underneath, uppercut to the jaw, man. That's the kind of thing. Okay, you think you got a good low kick. Try the low kick then, man. Blocked it. Just blocked, lifted up the knee, blocked the kick, shattered his ankle. You know, shin bone broke and all that. All the move. Okay, you think you're good at submissions. Tries a double leg takedown. That gets stuffed. Hit with the sprawl. You know, try all the moves he's trying just don't work, man. Okay, you think that when I try a jab, you're gonna be able to lean back and do a check hook? No, you ain't, man. The jab landed right on your nose, man, and now it's bleeding. That's how it's gonna get for Esau, man. All the moves that he tried from his youth, right? All the moves that he tried, and even in the fight. Let me use the fight scenario again. There's certain things there's certain men that used to be fighters when they was young, right? And then they still think that they got it like that when they're older. So they might have boxed when they was young, when they're a teenager and that, and then now they're in their mid-30s and they still think that they can move like how they did when they was young, right? And they try it, man, and it don't work. They might get into a fight on the streets and it don't work no more, man. And that's how it's gonna get for Esau. All of Esau's moves that he tried when we was in the Atlantic slave trade, when he was getting the renaissance, the rebirth of his nation coming back again from his youth of rebirthing himself again and coming back again from out of his captivity that we had him in, right? All of this that he did from his youth ain't gonna work no more, man. It's not gonna work. Stand thou with thine enchantments with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail. So if you still got it like that, it will work, right? But it ain't gonna work, man. The oppressor is going to become the oppressed. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So all the people that you think that can help you, let them try it then, man. And it's not gonna work. And it don't really matter if you don't believe me. Your eyes are gonna see all the evidence you need to see in order to believe it, man. When the society falls, you're gonna know what's a guy like Vocab Malone gonna be saying when all hell breaks loose, man. What's he going to be saying? Is he going to be coming up with these weird catchphrases? Oh, a Messiah's heels and all of these dumb terms that he comes, oh, apart, slavery in the USA, bro. Is he going to be making dumb parodies? Oh, a private eye for Yahweh Shai. Is he going to be coming up with all these dumb parodies in that time, man? Is he going to be posting up videos of Apostle Tahar farting? You know how childish and dumb that is? Like, he ain't farted. Like, that's how you know that these people are dumb, man. I remember when I saw that shit, I was like, man, this guy's a loser, bruv. Who's gonna post a video of someone farting when you're against their doctrine, but you're posting a video of someone farting? Like, he probably didn't fart that same damn self, man. You know what I mean? What's funnier is that he lies on camera. I think that's funnier than someone passing wind on camera. Like, this guy's a clown, man. These people are stupid, bro. As if Yahweh Shai didn't poo while he was on earth. Would that be funny then? If Yahweh Shai if the Messiah farted one time when he was teaching people the word. You know what I mean? Is that funny then? Some of these people would laugh if they saw us crying on camera about something that's happened, but didn't Yahweh Shai cry? You know? These people are jokers, man. These people are jokers. And that's why this scripture right here, man, we can understand why this is going to happen. Like, I ain't against this happening. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing this happen. I wouldn't have minded if this happened before I was born, to be honest with you. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for you have spoken it. And what do we need Esau for anyway, man? It's not like here's the thing about this scripture, man, that everyone always gets angry about. Like, I could understand a bit more, man, if Esau was actually a genuinely good person, man, and if Esau didn't bother no one, didn't trouble nobody, right? And if he really was peaceful and really did care about people, but yet still for all of that, Yahweh was going to destroy him. I could understand people crying about Esau all the time then when they see the 12 tribes and they're saying, oh man, but what about the, oh, but not all. Oh, but one of them bought me lunch the other day. One of them bought me a Nando's on a work do. Or one of them bought me a vodka and lemonade when we was at a work do. So not all. I could understand people saying all of that then. If Edomites actually were good people, and if they never put us in the Atlantic slave trade, if they really was peaceful, if they really kept the contract, kept the covenant like they say, if they really wasn't poisoning the food, poisoning the water, if they really didn't in 2019 to 2000 and now poison up the earth, you know, if they didn't take seeds out of fruits, you know, if they didn't make it so that our women of our nation hate their own hair and hate their own image, and if they made sure that they knew that they was attractive as they naturally look, and that they could grow their own hair, didn't need to conform to the standards of what they say is attractive. I could understand then if people were sad that Esau was going to be destroyed, but I can't understand how the Edomites are the complete opposite of everything that I just said then. Yet people are wanting them to be alive and are not happy that there's gonna come a day where they don't have to deal with that no more. I don't understand with all the things that these people have did, how you are saddened by the thought of them not being around. Like, they're not good people. So what are you gonna be missing if they're not here? You really think the earth's gonna crumble and society is just gonna fade away if they don't exist? Well, it didn't fade away no other time when Esau wasn't ruling, did it? When Esau wasn't ruling in a Babylonian captivity, did they fall and fade away because Esau wasn't ruling? Or did they fall and fade away because they lived wickedly in the first place? Same thing with the Persian Empire. When the Egyptians were ruling over the Israelites, did they fade away because Esau wasn't ruling? Or did they have a 400-year reign? But they were ruling over the Israelites, man. And they fell because they was wicked. And because there was oppressing the Israelites as well. And that Yahweh had destined for them to do that. But it didn't fade away because Esau wasn't ruling. That's not why they faded away. And if Esau's so great and such a good person, then why is it that his kingdom's falling around him? Explain that. How come you people can't explain that? Verse 21, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion, and judge, and Savior shall come up upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So when Esau needs to go for the kingdom to be Yahweh's. So why wouldn't you want that? Unless, of course, you're wicked. That's the only way how I can see that you don't want that. Because you love Esau more than you love Yahweh. And you love Esau more than you love the new covenant. Right? And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. Right? The oppressor is going to become the oppressed, man. In due time. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.